Last minute winner from Arsenal versus Newcastle. And we take it. Arsenal beat Newcastle 2-1. It didn't look like it was going to happen for at least 80 plus minutes. And it looked like it was going to be a draw. What a complete, crazy game. Let me go through some of the actions that happened in this match. So, first of all, there was that overturned penalty in the first half. Gyökeres gets brought down by Nick Pope. There's no two ways about it, right? It is a penalty. But because Pope got a slight touch on the ball, the referee says, oh yeah, he got a touch on the ball. But if you see the other game where Mbeumo was brought down against Chelsea, and it is similar, if not the same offense, and rightfully so. No one argued about that sending off from the keeper, Sanchez. In this case, Nick Pope wouldn't have been sent off because Arsenal got the penalty. So that should have been deemed like enough punishment. So there was no need for a sending off. You get a yellow card for that. But also probably not even that, because it was not deliberate. He was trying to go for the ball, but he ended up bringing down a player. So anyway, it should have been a penalty. It wasn't. And it looked really painful. Honestly, I hated every second of this game, and I was expecting to. In the 34th minute, now, Gabriel played a huge role in almost everything that happened tonight. For the first goal that Woltemade scored, a header from a corner, he was at fault, 100%. He went down so easily. Instead of focusing on making sure that his opponent was he was defending properly, he let that go. He let him get to the ball. Header, it was a very clean header. I know he says he was pushed, but that push should not have got him on the deck. And it's the same scenario we've seen for the last 2 seasons where he is concerned in the 18. Previous one, the last 2 times, it wasn't given. It wasn't given as a foul. The goal was given. So why do it again? That is what I've been saying. You know, you have to go into games and you have to really be intelligent. You have to be emotionally intelligent, tactically intelligent. And in this case, I feel that Gabriel started taking, you know, that thing we used to have when you get a bad decision, for example, like that overturned penalty, and then you start becoming like, oh, we are the big, massive victims in this whole thing. No, that is the wrong approach to take, and have got zero sympathy for Arsenal when they start doing that, because at the end of the day, it was always going to be a tough game against Newcastle. This game is one of the worst games Arsenal play, and we always come out bleeding, battered and bruised. And then in the second half starts and a lot is going on. Mosquera comes off for Saliba, which proved to be an incredible decision. Now, I've got a feeling Mosquera came off due to some sort of injury, because he actually was the one that caused that corner to go out where we conceded the goal. It was a miscue. It was a genuine error. I think maybe he was a bit injured and was probably protecting himself. I don't know, but he came off. Saliba came on. Did we have more control? No. Of course we didn't have any more control than we did before. I felt like Newcastle were absolutely incredible, really. They were powerful. They were aggressive. I was like, I hate these guys. I hate these guys because, you know, that is the kind of strength I'm looking for in my players. You know, Joy Linton, I mean, they were taking all sorts of liberties at Arsenal's expense. Nick Pope was player of the match until the last 2 goals. It was honestly a bit too much because we had so much threat. Gyökeres, of course, had a couple of chances, didn't look too bad, but of course, he just didn't have the right kind of supply. We are still battling, but I think he'll get in the goals pretty soon. Again. Let me go through actually. Oh yeah, so wait a minute. So we get a corner. Was it Rice puts in a corner and then it comes out and then it gets crossed in and Merino gets it into the back of the net past Nick Pope. You cannot blame Nick Pope. He was never ever meant to get to where that ball was going. It was placed so beautifully. It was Eze, I'm looking at the highlights now. Rice with a beautiful cross. So Rice took the corner to Eze, shot to Eze. Eze passed it out again to the midfield. Then it went back to Rice, and he curved a beautiful, beautiful cross onto Merino's head, and he floated it right past Nick Pope, who was absolutely brilliant tonight. But there's no way. If you blame him for conceding that, I think you are just absolutely being very unfair. It was beautiful. You are not meant to get to those at the end of the day. So Nick Pope, for me, was the best player for most of this game. For 80 minutes of this game, he did everything right, and you can't blame him. He got lucky for the Gyökeres penalty, but who doesn't? Even that wasn't such a bad decision. So Arsenal again, somehow we got another corner. Another ball floated in beautifully, and Big Gabriel heads it right past Nick Pope. And you know what? Actually, it wasn't right past Nick Pope. So there's this move, yeah. If you watch that go back, what happens is Nick Pope is trying to get to the ball, but Saliba, and that's where experience is so important. If you have a look at how that second goal for Arsenal, the last minute goal, was scored, right? So another corner comes in beautifully. I think it was Declan Rice again taking it. As it's floating in, Nick Pope is coming out to try and punch it. He can see the flight of the ball. What does Saliba do? Saliba goes and stands right in front of him, not in a way where he will foul him, because the ball was still in flight, but he just stood in front of him, creating that extra barrier to stop him punching that ball off Gabriel's head. Any other time, Nick Pope would have been punching that ball off Gabriel's head. He would have flown over the top, or would have gone out somewhere else. But Saliba, using his game intelligence, his experience, did that. Now, I love Mosquera 100%, and is still fitting in, but I'm not sure if Mosquera would have had that same kind of thought or intelligence to do it, because the dark arts were started like in the last 2 seasons. It has been a game plan that has been working for Arsenal. So in terms of Mosquera in that same position, would he have been able to do or think fast as Saliba did in that situation? I am not exactly too sure. He's brilliant, and he's a brilliant player, but there are certain things in a game where more experience and understanding how, because Gabriel and Saliba know each other in and out, but I loved the movement that he made. The minute he saw that ball coming towards Gabriel, he just went and planted himself in front of Nick Pope. Nick Pope could not get anywhere that ball to punch it off Gabriel's head. So yeah, that was a brilliant move. So in terms of the penalty that Newcastle fans are going to be crying about, I would as well. I think if I was an Arsenal fan, especially, we've got this conspiracy going on about PGMOL. The referee is trying to get Liverpool to win this cup, which they are 100%. I see it. But in that case, that because I think they messed us up initially. Because they messed us up initially with that penalty, the referee was very careful to make sure that there wasn't something controversial given. That would have been something easily given, I think, if it was certain teams playing. But anyway, the ball came off Gabriel's leg, was hit. His arm was way out away from his body because he was sliding in. Natural posture, if you're going to be sliding in, trying to defend, came off his leg, hit his arm. I've seen those given. I reckon personally, I think Arsenal were super lucky. We were quite lucky, because if that had been given, it wouldn't have been a complete injustice. It wouldn't have been a complete injustice, because at the end of the day, it is handball. His hand was out. And but in the end, Arsenal get 3 points. It's been a long time since Liverpool have lost and Arsenal have gone out and got 3 points. And one thing I can say is it was not purely because of Arteta's brilliant tactics. Let me go through the players. Let's see the lineups from Arsenal's point of view. David Raya, let me think. The corner, I don't think you can do much from corners. It's a really confusing time. Gabriel was more at fault for that corner. Califury came off late-ish in the game. And of course, Lewis Kelly, he didn't come off for Califury, but Califury came, Merino came on for Califury. There was a lot of confusion. I think he was throwing players in just to see if they could advance anything. So Merino came on, who scored the equalizer. Beautiful header from a nice cross from Declan Rice. Honestly, he's really fought hard. The last few games have not been the most brilliant. Lewis Kelly came on for Leandro Trossard. Now, Leo Trossard, I am a fan. I'm not a great fan. Now, when he started, I was like, oh. When he started Man City, I was like, oh. But you know what? If he's fit, he might need match fitness. He had that opportunity where he hit the post, so there's something there. Gabriel Magalhaes, he scored our winner. But honestly, I was very disappointed with some of the plays today. He was literally at fault for the goal we conceded. He went down too quickly, could have been sent off for shoving Woltemade at the end as well, because his behavior, he lost it a little bit, isn't it? He lost it. He needs to be more composed. He is literally one of our senior players, but his emotions got the better of him at most parts of the game, which doesn't help us at all. Mosquera did pretty good. He, though, was instrumental in the goal that we conceded by giving away a very loose sort of back pass, going out straight for a corner. What was that, bro? But I'm not going to kill him completely. This is, I think, game number 4 for him. It's okay, he'll settle in. Julian Timber was running, like thankless task, running up and down, trying to get crosses in. But my gosh, like Joy Linton, they ate him up. They ate all of us up, to be honest, but he did really well considering the pressure. Bukayo had a few sort of chances where you could see, okay, good one, Bukayo Saka, but it just didn't materialize. But it's always good to see him, because every sort of challenge he puts in, or every cross he puts in, it helps sort of weaken the screws of the opponents. Now, I think I went too quick to Bukayo Saka. Declan Rice, is it 2 assists for him? It will be 2 assists, isn't it? Because he got that ball into Merino's head, and then he got that ball into Gabriel's head. So 2 assists from a corner. Honestly, this guy, I feel like he is suffering so much right now, because he has to carry all that midfield. He didn't have too bad of a game today because he had Eze in that central position to help him out. Also, what changed the game was bringing Odegaard in that position for Martin Zubimendi. Please, Odegaard, get fit and come back and save us. Zubimendi was eaten up, completely demolished by Newcastle. We all were, because I expected him to have trouble in this game. Everyone, even Partey, had trouble in this game. Newcastle are aggressive. They are insistent. They do not stop. It is one of the toughest matches we'll ever play in the Premier League. The last 2 seasons said it all. And all the times we've drawn and lost to Newcastle, I don't whine about decisions, because at the end, you feel like, yeah, we've been truly handled today. We were lucky today. We were really lucky. We made our own luck and we carried the thingy. Trossard had a shot that came off the post. Beautiful, but he just didn't do enough to affect it. We need some more creativity. We need some more dribbling skills. He just doesn't have it all. We need somebody else on that number 11, in that position, I think, in that left wing. Somebody a bit more threatening. He doesn't completely suit our style, but he is a good, humble guy who has put up with a lot, I think, and he deserves these chances he's getting just because of what he has done the last 2 games. Let him start a few more games. Let's see if he improves. You have to remember, sometimes you play as good as your previous matches. You need to get that match fitness. It's so important for you to look good. Eberechi Eze was certainly one of our best players throughout. The threat was non-stop from him. He got the ball. I think he forced Nick Pope to save some of his shots, and he was pretty good. Honestly, I cannot wait to see Eze completely finish his, just when he gets a handle of this team, but yeah, beautiful. Loved it. You can see where he's going. Gyökeres, we need to get him some better supplies. Did you see that through ball which caused that penalty? If he doesn't get brought down by Nick Pope, it's a goal. But of course, he doesn't realize that Arsenal don't not only fight the defense, they're fighting certain referees and decisions. He needs to learn very quickly that, in that position, he probably would have had a better... Let me not blame Gyökeres for that, because who expects that to be overturned for anything other than a penalty? That's a straight penalty. Let me not take, blame him for anything because he did nothing wrong. That should have been a penalty, end of. And yeah, but he deserved a goal. He had a few shots on target, but Nick Pope was in monstrous form today, and you needed like brilliance to beat him, craziness from Saliba to block him from getting that ball off Gabriel's head, and craziness from that beautiful Merino header. So yeah, you just needed to deceive him. It was out of reach. It was beautiful. So yeah, in my opinion, though, despite Newcastle losing, I'm definitely going to go for Nick Pope to be their man of the match. He was insane. He was insane. They had a few injuries as well. Was it Livramento got stretchered off? Loved it. Sandro Tonali. This guy is horrendous to play against. I hate him. Horrendous to play against. Honestly, it was painful. Gomares, of course, he was celebrating getting the ball out for a throw-in. Demonic stuff. Joel Linton, aggressive and violent. Hate him. And when you hate players, not because you hate them because they make you feel so stupid. And the hate is not a hate of because I despise them. You hate them because they are so competitive against you and they literally give you hell. I felt absolutely sick today. Right, let's have a look at Gabriel Martinelli. Loved his cameo when he came on, did pretty well. Merino, beautiful goal. Thank you so much. Mikel Merino, we've been hammering you and you Rice and Zubamendi just don't work well to create chances. But every time you come on, honestly, man, I love our fake centre forward. This guy, I really like him. Martin Odegaard came on for Zubamendi. Thank you, Martin. Things changed when you came on. Arsenal need an Odegaard or a Waneri. Sometimes you don't see what Waneri does when he comes on. I sometimes don't see it, but things happen. Chances get created, something happens. So we really need one of these two, even if it weakens our midfield control. It actually doesn't. I think it actually improves it. It just looks like it weakens it, doesn't it? But yeah, the way we play, we certainly need Odegaard or Waneri in that position. That is how it works, because when he's there, he can bounce off like the Sakas. He can bounce off, some play. And then who else? Miles Lewis-Skelly. Miles Lewis-Skelly was this close. That beautiful cross he did. I love this boy. We need him more. Now, I know we've got Calafiori in that left back position. Put him in the middle, man. Put him in the middle. Let him play with Rice and let him play with Zubamendi or something. I don't know. Let him play in the middle because he is so positive. He is so positive. I mean, I know he neglects his defensive duties because there are some of those times when I was thinking, I hope they don't break here. But he's intelligent enough, I think, to know when to break. And if you play him more, he will figure it out. Find a game, Arteta. Find a game where it's not going to be crucial, where he can come in and play in that midfield number 5 position. Zubamendi, I am not convinced. I am not sold. He might be a nice player for you people to watch. But I mean, I want results. And as long as he was on that pitch, we're not going to get a result tonight. And the way people play in the Premier League, they don't play to let Arsenal come and play a lightweight midfielder and do stuff. There are certain games. Of course, he scored those 2 beautiful goals. But no, Sorry, I just can't see it. And I pray it happens soon because I know you trust him. You know, sometimes when you're not seeing things, I'll let other people tell me what I should be seeing. Anyway, I've been rambling on for such a long time. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. It was an absolutely sensational game from Newcastle. They had us on toast for a long time in that match. They made us stress. They made us call for conspiracy theories. We did everything. But in the end, I think Arsenal won that game on merit. It was a merited win. Some things went against us. Some things went for us. But, you know, at the end of the day, we deserved that win. We fought for a change and we got the better of Newcastle with set pieces. So I am so happy and I'm so grateful and I'm so happy for us. I hope this is a turning point for Arteta. I hope this is a turning point for Arteta to literally say, you know what, when Liverpool drop points, you don't have to drop points. You know, make the changes earlier. What about if we had made the Odegaard change earlier? Would that have made a more positive impression on the match? I think so. You know, but yeah, in the end, Arsenal beat Newcastle 2-1. It was an incredible experience to watch and I had all sorts of jitters and butterflies. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do not forget to like and to subscribe. And yeah, help this channel grow. I'm on Facebook and TikTok as well. And I'll catch you guys very soon. Goodbye. Ciao.